Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm so excited to be back teaching you class today. We're going to do an amazing Tabata HIIT circuit all right here from the floor. All you need today is yourself and this space that you've created. I definitely recommend grabbing some water. I'm going to very strongly encourage some hydration breaks between each of the sets that we do. We're going to focus today on our core, so mostly on the abs and also on the back. We're going to get some chest work. We're going to get some glutes in there as well, all right here on our mats. If you have an opportunity to put on some music that will make you feel motivated and want to keep moving to find a solid beat, I definitely encourage you to take these next couple of minutes before class starts to put that awesome music on. Otherwise, we're gonna actually get right into our workout today. If you're here early, feel free to come down to your mat, just come into your breath, maybe hydrate a teeny little bit right here. Just, some small sips of water though. So we're really going to be working those abs today. Lots of crunching and squeezing. I don't want your belly to be too full or floaty because I want you to keep it all down. All right, so we get started at 4:30, which is just about 4 minutes from right now. Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming today. Just thank yourself. Tell you what, this past week, having injured my foot, I did not let that stop me from getting my exercise on, just finding different ways to modify other exercises to be off of my foot. Man, my right glute and my right leg in general are so tired from working extra hard to support that left leg. But please keep in mind, if you're ever injured, there's always a modification that you can do. There's always an exercise for you, making sure that you stay active and keep your energy up and keep your blood circulating and flowing is just gonna help everything else be great. Also, my power drill arrives tomorrow, and then I will hang up my curtains, yay! Okay, but for now, let's go ahead and get started with today's warm up / workout, because our first move is going to serve us as our warm up today. So come on down onto your mats. Join me here. Pardon me. Make sure that water is nearby. You turn your music on if that's something that is available to you. And we're going to start off with these nice straight legs. I want you to sit yourself up nice and tall. Really work to open up your chest. Let's just take a couple moments coming into our exercise practice for today. Today is going to be a great Tabata HIIT class. Take a couple moments just coming into your breath. Get ready to change your breath, change your mental channel, come away from that whole workspace mentality to be exercise focused. All right, so our first move for today, we're just gonna twist side to side. I want you to really focus on twisting as much as possible. Try to get both fingertips to tap down on either side of the mat. That's gonna be our first move that we're gonna do. Halfway through, I'm gonna show you a way that you can make it even harder. If you find that you're already feeling super tight and it's not possible for you to sit up straight and find these twists side to side, feel free to take a slight little bend in your knees, because you can make this move more challenging either with bent knees or with straight legs by simply leaning back just a little bit. It's going to challenge your abs a little bit more. All right, so get ready to start feeling the burn. We're gonna start in 3, belly tight, 2, spine straight, 1. Here we go. So just making sure you're still focusing on those nice slow breaths. I'm gonna start out my first round being really lifted, head straight up towards the ceiling. These aren't quite Russian twists. Just something a little bit different. Really focus on creating that rotation in your obliques. Take a break. All right, so now if you want to make that same move a little more challenging, you're just going to lean back a little bit, but keep this lift of your chest and begin. So most of the moves that we do today, the intensity is going to be there if you bring the challenge for yourself, but we're going to keep a lot of our moves nice and slow, really focusing on that form as well. I want you to still keep that belly in nice and tight. Find that big reach over. Awesome. So the opposite arm that's reaching is going to create the deepest part of our twist right now. 2 more just like that. Remember, you can bend your knees if you need to. Begin. Ground those heels into the floor. That might even help you get a little bit more of a lean back. But we're not leaning back and collapsing, finding rounding. We're leaning back and keeping that big lift. Make sure you're still breathing. Awesome. Take a break. Whatever feels good for you in your breaks, maybe a moment of stillness, maybe just shaking it out. Same thing, just like that. 3, begin. So really focus on this big twist. Not moving fast, because sometimes moving fast, you don't actually tap your fingers to the floor. I want you to really get both of those finger pads onto the floor the best that you can. Keep that lifted chest. All right, if you want to take a break, if you want to work a little bit harder for these last 4 rounds, we're going to lift our legs in tabletop. We're going to bring our hands about head height and then just tap one finger back. Begin. You can work a little bit harder right here as well, keeping your feet on the floor, still keeping that lift of your chest and finding that rotation back. Because remember, the more that you lean this upper body back, the more challenging it's going to be on those lower abs. Take a break, but to make it extra challenging, think about picking your feet up into tabletop. If you can't pick up both feet, can you pick up just one? So just one foot in tabletop if you can't keep both feet in tabletop. is another option, another way to just bring a little more challenge. Focus on that breath and the lifting of your chest. Try to keep that shin parallel to the floor. Take a break. All right, if you did just one leg, we're gonna do the opposite leg this next time through. 3, 2, 1. Find that lift. So either chest lifted or working harder with that big lean back, drawing your lower belly back towards your spine. Keeping that chest open. So squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other as your hand goes back particularly. Nice, we've got just one more. Can you lift both of your legs up into tabletop? Oh, I just felt the first droplet of sweat. And begin. Find that big reach and twist behind you. Get into those obliques. You can even squeeze those knees together. Inner outer thighs working a little here as well. 3, 2, 1. Yay, you made it. Awesome. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water if you want. And then we're going to come onto our hands and knees next. If you want, you can give yourself a couple little cat-cows. Ooh, just shimmy shakes. Still getting that body a little bit warmed up. All right. For our next move, we're going to go for some tabletop push-ups. If you want to challenge yourself harder and do these push-ups straight legged, you're welcome to. But the intention of being tabletop today, instead of in a V, is I want you to think about bringing your head and shoulders forward of your fingertips and sending those elbows directly back behind you so that your chest is coming down first to the floor, as opposed to a lot of times when we're in this V push-up, our bellies come down first and then we relax and release into the floor, and then you get that moment break on the floor. So we're gonna eliminate that moment of break by just giving ourselves the hands underneath of our shoulders, tabletop push-up, and then for the first 4 moves, we're gonna add in a bird dog. So just extending out and then bringing it back in, tabletop push-up, bird dog. So if you're doing a full push-up, which you can't really do right now, you might either just lift up one leg to be in a 3-leg plank, or lift up opposite hands and knees so that you can be in a bird dog too. That's going to be for the first 4 moves. For the second 4 moves, we're still going to do that same push-up, and then we're just going to open up, find that big rotation to the side. You guys ready? First 20 seconds with our bird dog, opposite arms, opposite leg extends, starts in 3, 2, 1. So you're starting off hand palms under your shoulders. You can spread those fingers out. Really think about extending through your heel, like you're pushing the wall away from you behind you. A little bit more engagement of those glutes than with that pointed toe. Elbows coming back towards your hips. Take a break. You can stay here and cat-cow it out. You can sit yourself up and take a rest or a shake of your hands. We start again right now. Belly tight, so forehead coming down towards the mat, and then extend out into your tabletop. Keep those elbows close by your side for this one, maybe even grazing right by your rib cage. Stomach sucked in. Nice work. I'm going to sit up, shake my wrists out this time. 3, 2, 1. Same thing. Suck that stomach in. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other as well. Making sure that that back is active. Think about extending through that heel behind you. Awesome. One more just like that. And then we're going to find our rotation. 3, 2, begin. Once more with bird dog. Think about even squeezing your glute as you press through your heel. Squeezing the butt cheek of the leg that you're extending. Make sure those elbows are still staying close towards your side. Nice work. All right, take that break. So next up, we're gonna do the same tabletop push-up, but add in a big rotation. Begin right now. Have your eyes follow your hand as you go for this rotation. Bringing that forehead down towards the floor. Good. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Take a break. Your breath is guiding your moves. Your move is not limiting your breath. 3, 2, begin. So if you need to slow down, take it a little bit slower, go for it. If you feel like you can go a little bit faster than me while still having that good form, I encourage you to do whatever works for your body today. Just being mindful. Lower down slowly with control. Press into those palms to lift up. We got one more on each side. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. After this, we'll take a nice quick little break. We'll reach back into child's pose before we move on to our next move. Awesome. Make sure those hands, palms are still pressed down to the floor. Great. You're not lifting your palms up off of the floor to bring your chest forward. 3, 2, last one. You're really pushing into those palms to lift yourself back up. You got this. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead, open those knees. Bring your toes closer together. Send your hips back towards your heels. Just take a moment stretching it out in child's pose. You can walk your hands as far forward as feels good for you today. If this feels too much on your shoulders, feel free to bring that generous bend to your elbows. You can even shake your hips a little left and right from back here. We'll get one little stretch on our abs before we focus on them once again with our next move. So go ahead and walk yourself forward. Come on into a nice seal pose, up dog. Releasing that pubic mound towards the floor and then squeezing your shoulder blades together, opening up that chest, finding the stretch on your abs. Nice. Nice work. Okay. Next up, we're going to go for a runner's roll up. Yay! So for this one, we're going to start laying down. We've got 2 ab moves that are going to similarly work our obliques in a slightly different way. This is number 1. So our runner's crunch roll up. If you can, keep both of your legs straight. For the actual move, you're gonna draw one leg up, lift up, turn, try and tap your elbow towards the outside of your thigh, come back in, lower down, and extend out. And then the opposite side, so coming up, finding your crunch, finding your rotation, hold for a second, come back through, lower down, and kick back out. If you need to, you can always keep your knees bent for this one to just work a little bit easier. I really want you to focus though on lifting up, then finding your twist, as opposed to lifting up into a twist where you miss out on just a little bit of that abdominal engagement. And don't worry, we're gonna get to practice this again in just 2 rounds. If you wanna work even harder, keeping both feet off of the floor, think about kicking your heels as close towards the mat as possible. If you want to work a little bit easier, kick that leg up towards the ceiling. But remember, you're going to lift up, turn, back, and down. Really take that moment coming down. All right, that's what we're doing for all 8 rounds. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. I'm going to start off easy, keeping my feet on the floor. So you lift up, twist to the outside, try and touch your elbow to knee, rotate back, and lower yourself down. Make sure you're keeping that lower back glued down towards the mat. Take a break. Get ready. No pressure on the back of your head. Begin. So crunch, twist, turn, lower down, and switch. Up, twist, turn, lower down. Up, twist, turn, and down. Up, twist. Nice work. As you can see, I'm bringing my legs into that modified tabletop between each one just to be a little easier on my body to keep that lower back glued down to the mat. So up, extend as twist, come back in, lower down, lift up, twist, extend, come back to the bottom. Up, extend and twist, in and down. Oh, do you feel it? I am feeling it. I also practiced some of these yesterday to make sure I could do them with you. Begin again. Remember, if you need to take it a little bit easier on yourself, you're kicking up towards the ceiling instead of working to bring that leg a little bit closer towards the mat. Taking a break between each one to really focus on getting that big crunch. Using your breath, exhale to lift up. Take a break to get deeper into those abdominal muscles. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Keeping your knees stacked above your hips and not bringing them in any closer is also going to create a little bit more of a challenge. The closer that you have your knees towards your chest, the easier the move's going to be. Burning! Someone call the fire department. Take a break. One minute left of work, you guys. 3, 2, here we go. Lift, twist, center, down. Lift, twist, center, and down. Keep it up. 5 seconds left. Really work. As we get close to the end, to tap, take a break. The outside of that leg, if you can, on our last 2 rounds, find that extra exhale to reach and crunch. 2, 1, begin. Lift. Hold it for a second. Bring it back in and down. Lift. Crunch and hold. Twist in and down. You got it. One more right here. Nice work. Last round coming up. Then we're going to relax those abs a little. Begin. Then we're going to flip back over. Work a little more on that booty. You're doing great, everyone. Keep up this intensity. Keep up the breathing. Oh, we made it. Oh, take a little breather. Take your time as you lift yourself up. Feel free to take a couple little sips of water. We're gonna come on back up into tabletop. Now, if you happen to have any exercise bands, you can make this next move a little bit more challenging by banding your legs. I happen to have some exercise bands right here. So I'm just going to take a moment and put them on, just in case you have some. Listen, in Bikram we say, if you can, you must. And you got to do the hardest things. You got to challenge yourself to see that change. So this is just a great little way, not very expensive, to add a little extra resistance and challenge to your workout. Okay, you guys, we are at that halfway point right now. Move number 4. We're gonna go for a fire hydrant followed by a kickback. So we're gonna stick with one leg, all 4 moves. We're gonna really burn that side out, and then we're gonna come to the opposite side. So as we're here in tabletop, I want you to spread those fingertips really wide like a starfish. If you're like me and your elbows overextend, make sure you find a slight little bend in those elbows. Really press into your hands, palms. No sinking into those shoulders. So back is engaged and squeezed. You have a nice flat back right here. Find some stabilization on your left leg. Pull that belly in nice and tight. Find some length through the crown of your head. We're gonna lift up into a fire hydrant, bring it back down, and then squeeze our glute, heel to the ceiling. That's the whole move. Think about going for about 2 seconds in each direction so that you're really using your glutes to find the move as opposed to just speeding through of moving your leg as fast as you can. Really finding that squeeze to make it happen. Right leg starts in 3, 2, 1. Now, if you're having any trouble with your hands down on the floor, because I know this is the second time we've had our hands down on the floor today, I want you to think about pressing those knuckles down towards the floor. Or if it feels good for you, you can even come all the way down onto these forearms. Take a break. Whatever it takes for you to keep going. No excuses, you guys. Gonna tuck this shirt in. 3, 2, begin again. No excuses. I'm not gonna say, my clothes are moving. This is hard. It should be hard. You should start to feel a little bit of some soreness even happening in your stabilizing leg or in that glute. Take a break. Feel free to shake it out. Happy little cat cows. 3, 2, begin again. Remember, you can always come onto those knuckles. As you're coming out, outside of the thigh to the ceiling, heel to the ceiling. Find that exhale, extra squeeze at the end. Maybe even hear it. Nice work. I think we got one more time through on this side, practicing your breath. Not a bad thing because your breath is going to come into play for our last move of the day. Last time on the right side, fire hydrant together. Kick through that heel. Like you're trying to press the heel, the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. Try not to shift too much over towards that left side. Keeping that belly tight. Nice work. Shake it out. Now we're going to switch opposite leg. Whatever opposite leg means to you. 3, 2, 1. Find that squeeze of your back again. Shoulder blades towards each other. Pressing those hands, palms. Spread your fingertips wide. Pads of the fingers also press down into the floor. Length through the crown of your head. No extra wrinkles on your neck, so eyes face down. 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing. Find that relaxed breath. 2, 1. Begin. Same leg. This is round 2 on that left side if you're working with me. Really use that exhale once again. Find that extra squeeze. Make sure you're not sinking down into your hands, palms, or shoulders. Keep that lift. Almost there. Get to turn back over on our backs. Begin after we finish this move. Nice little mix of abs, of glutes, inner outer thigh work, upper body. Given one part, take a break, a chance to break while we work on something else. Secretly got a lot of abs moving even right now just to help stabilize you. Begin. Last time. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. Nice work. All right, go ahead. Shift your hips over to the side. Kick your legs back out in front of you. I'm going to slide this off. Technically, you could keep wearing this if you want an extra challenge. I've had enough extra challenge this week. I'm starting to feel a little discomfort on the outside of my right leg, so I'm just going to take it a little easier. Okay, for our next move, we're going to lay down on our backs, and as promised, this is going to be another twisty move, really working into those obliques today. You're going to challenge yourself as much as you can, depending on how strong you're feeling, and you're going to determine that by keeping your lower back down on the mat. Okay. So for this move, we're going to start with those legs straight up towards the ceiling. And we're going to lift up into a crunch. One leg is going to come down, and you're going to reach towards the opposite leg. Turn back in, stay lifted, reach towards the opposite leg. So depending on how strong you are, maybe you can drop that opposite leg all the way down towards the floor. If you want to work a little bit harder, just like we did last time, you can lift up, drop and twist, come back to the center and lower down to have a little extra time and tension. Really focus on using that exhale. Decrease the space between your lower ribs and hips. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. So crunch up, drop and kick, back to the center, down if you choose, or stay lifted the whole time. Use your exhale to really reach as high as you can up on the outside of your foot. Take a break. I'm going to massage my lower back here on the floor between moves. We start right now. Lower back glute down, lift up, drop that leg and reach. So similar to that runner's crunch, but this time working with those straight legs as opposed to finding that bend in your knees. Take a break. Which one did you find harder? I found that runner's crunch to be very challenging. 2, 1, begin. So I'm going to add in that extra lift and lower. I'm going to bring my heel as close down towards the floor as I can, while still keeping my lower back on the mat. Take a break. Remember, it's not just about speed. It's not about speed at all today. It's about form. Begin. So lifting up lower back's glute, twist and reach up high, back to the center, down if you choose, up, out and drop, in and down. Even if you don't feel this right now, I promise you, tomorrow afternoon, take a break. At this time, you're gonna feel it, especially if you're challenging yourself, pushing yourself hard. 3, 2, begin again. If you need to take a quick break, even during this 20-second interval, because you're working so hard, good for you. Jump back in when you can. Take a break. Just about 1 minute of work left to go. 3, 2, 1. And down. I know you can hear my exhales. I hope you can hear yours as well. Take a break. 3, 2, lift those legs up as straight as you can. If you need to take a slight bend in your knees, that's fine. You have to do what's right for your body. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what anyone else in the room with you might be doing either. You honor yourself. Be smart for you. Take a break. on, you guys. Last time through starts right now. Send those legs up. Crunch. Twist and reach. Back in. Beautiful. It's not so bad. We're almost done. We got 2 moves left after this. Take a break and plenty of time to stretch out. All right, next up, we're gonna roll over onto our backs. Got a nice little back exercise with the Superman. Let's do our Supermans 2 different ways. Oh my gosh. We're gonna do 2 different Supermans today. Yay! All right, so for our first Superman, we're gonna focus on getting that whole body moving. Up to you if you wanna keep your legs together or keep your feet apart. We're gonna lift everything up at the same time, lower everything down at the same time. For the next round, we're gonna do just legs. Then we're gonna do just arms. And then we're gonna put it all together again. After that, we're going to do Superman with a swim. So as you lift up, you're gonna draw those elbows back, a little more time and tension. Then again, we'll do just legs, we'll do just arms, and we'll put it all together. So starting off with those arms nice and straight, those legs nice and straight, I want you to squeeze your glutes so that before you even begin, your kneecaps lift up off of the floor, that belly is pulled in, find some length through your fingers, no wrinkles in the neck, whole body moves in 3, 2, 1, 20 seconds of work. So lift for 2, lower for 2. Really focus on control on the way down as well as the way up. Even if you feel like you don't get that high, that's the time to focus even more on slowly lowering down with control. Take a break. All right, you can fold your hands in and put them under your head if you want. Next up, we've got just legs. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So squeeze and lift and then lower. Remember, your glutes should be firing the whole time. Even as my knees and tops of my feet come closer to the floor, I'm not completely letting go of my glutes and keeping the tension for the whole 20 seconds. Whew, take a break. All right, keep that lower body glued down on the mat this time. Extend your arms out in front of you. Sorry, you can't see me so well. It's okay. You know what's happening. This time, lower body glued. You still have those glutes firing. Your kneecap should still be lifted up off of the floor. You're using your exhale to lift yourself up. Still taking the time on the way up and down. Nice work. Take a break. Next up, we're going to do it all together one more time before we add in that swim stroke. Begin everything. Now that you're feeling a little bit more warmed up in that lower back, can you lift up even higher? Can you get those heels a little closer towards the ceiling? Can you get that belly lifted more from the floor? I still stay down on the floor. Take a break. All right, next up, we're gonna go for the pull of our arms. I'm gonna turn around just to make sure you can see what's happening. Everything's moving at the same time. We lift, we pull, forward, down, lift, squeeze, forward, down, lift, squeeze those elbows back. That's gonna help you to lift that chest just a little bit higher, back engaged a little bit more. Eyes still down to the floor. Take a break. Make that pillow with your hands if you want. Feel free to shake out those glutes, any tension you might feel. Get ready to fire them up. Squeeze your glutes, lift your knees. Now only your lower body. My back is feeling a little tired. I know I've been overcompensating, using the opposite side of my body for my injury. My injury is on this side. Take a break. I'm feeling it right here from sitting funny. So just being mindful of my body today. Do your best. All right, upper body this time. Lift, elbows back, fingers fingers forward and down. So your feet stay on the floor the whole time, but your glutes are still fired. Your kneecap should still be lifted up off of the floor because your posterior chain is engaged, even if it's not lifting and lowering. Nice work. We got one more time through the whole thing, putting it all together. 3, 2, 1. So you lift, elbows back, forward, and down. Legs involved this time as well. More than halfway through. Stay strong. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Nice work, everyone. Grab some water if you want. We're going to turn over one last time. One last move for today before we come into our cool down. We're going to do something that we have not done. We have not done this crunch together before. All right, grab a quick sip of water if you want. We're going to lay down on our backs. Let's just even take a moment right here as you get down on the floor, finding some relaxation here in your reclined bound angle. So you have your heels close towards the center line of your body. We're going to bring our fingertips behind our head. You might find you need to even walk your heels out a little bit further because I still want you to glue that lower back down towards the mat. And I don't want you to have your heels so close that you find that you need to arch that back at all. All right, so starting off this crunch, we've got 3 different parts of the crunch that we're gonna do. You're just gonna do your best to get them in our 20-second intervals. So first we're gonna lift up, keeping the chin towards the chest like you have that delightful grapefruit. And you're gonna exhale 5 times fast, like Pilates breathing. Just to get a little deeper into those abs, you're gonna lower your upper body down and you're gonna pick your heels up. Now, depending on how strong you are, you might be able to keep your heels hovering close towards the floor with that lower back down, or you might find you need to keep your heels up extra high. Then we're gonna lower everything down and we're gonna lift it all up at the same time for a little kind of pulsating crunch. If you wanna work even harder on that pulsing crunch, bring your heels towards the center line of your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're gonna lower heels back down, come back to upper body. 4, 3. All right, you got it, you guys. This is our last move of the day. We start in 3, 2, 1. Fingers, oops, wrong button. Fingers behind your head. Get ready for your 5 exhales and crunch. Begin. 5. Head down, feet up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, everything up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just the, take a break. That's all we had time for. One little round. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just the feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything. Make sure that lower back stays glued down to the floor. Head. 5. Oh, almost. All right. This next one, let's do just the head up. Just the head. All right, head, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a quick breath, head again. Keep those elbows wide. Keep that lower back pressed down. Glue it to the mat once again. All right, next up we're gonna do just the feet. We're just gonna squeeze your heels together, pick up, keep that lower back glued, hover and hold. 5 seconds each time. Lift it up. Take your quick break lift. Make sure that lower back is still down on the floor. we got this. Oh, nice work. All right. This time, everything's going to lift up. Little crunch. 3, 2, here we go. And down, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't wait for that timer. Nice. Don't anticipate that timer, you guys. Let's come on back to circling it around. 5 upper, 5 lower, 5 total. Upper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Upper, 5, 4, 3. Nice work. 2 more times. Same thing. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Nice work. Only 1 more to go. 3, 2, here we are. Glue that lower back down. Pull that stomach in. Keep those heels as close to hovering on the floor as you can. Everything. Last time. Oh, we made it. Awesome. Go ahead, extend those legs out nice and wide. Extend your arms all the way up overhead. Reach through those fingertips. Maybe find some reach through one shoulder a little bit more. Starting to feel that stretch coming down into your obliques. The opposite shoulder. Using that breath, just keep changing which fingertips reach further to the wall behind you. One more time through each side. Awesome. Go ahead and relax those arms back down by your side. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Take a moment right here with just knees towards your chest. Stretch your elbows down towards your hips. Chin tucks towards your chest, back of your head. Nice and flat on the mat. Go ahead, give yourself a nice little massage here of that lower back, maybe even starting to roll a little towards those hips. Next up, we're going to come into a nice big spine twist. So go ahead, relax and release your feet down to the floor. Spread your arms nice and wide to a T, whichever side you choose to drop over to first. Keep your opposite shoulder on the mat the best that you can. Take a couple seconds, just breathe into this stretch. If you want to feel it even more, think about taking your top leg and pointing that knee down towards the opposite wall while still keeping that same shoulder of the knee that you're stretching on the mat. Even turning your chin towards that shoulder to increase the stretch all through whichever side you have on top. And change. Go ahead, come back through center, take your time. And when you're ready, drop yourself over to the opposite side. Work to keep both shoulders on the mat. Remember, stretching your top knee a little closer towards the bottom of the mat, the wall away from you, can bring more of a stretch down your obliques. Bring your extended arm out to the same side that your knees are bent. We're going to press ourselves up into tabletop. As you come into tabletop, give yourself a couple cat-cows right here. Feel free to shake your tail, wiggle side to side. Really think about finding some crunches, looking over your shoulder towards your opposite heel as you wiggle right now, and then we're going to take that big twist together. So getting your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders. Go ahead, turn your chin, look towards your left shoulder, even looking towards your left glute. You can even extend your left leg behind you, just getting your glute a little more involved in the stretch. Press into those hands, palms, and change. Walk your left leg in. Feel free to shake it out again. Start to find your twist over to the right side. First, just looking over that right shoulder, making sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. Hands, palms still active. Belly still pulled in tight. If you want, you can go ahead and extend your right leg out behind you. Look for your right heel. Awesome. Back to tabletop once more. Go ahead, tuck your toes under slightly. Send your hips back towards your heels. Really press into those hands, palms. Find a nice stretch for that upper back right now. One more time. Nice teeny little stretch of the toes as well. Untuck those toes, walk those hands forward. Just taking a moment here in child's pose. We're worth spending an extra minute together, right, you guys? Go ahead, send your right arm underneath of the left. Find a nice little stretch of those shoulders. One more big slow breath right here. Awesome. Switch, opposite hand comes underneath. If you're doing the same as me, we've got our left hand coming underneath, right hand stretching forward, just finding a big stretch. We're going to take 3 breaths right here. Awesome. Extend those hands forward once more. Go ahead, pull your body forward. One more big stretch on those abs as you extend your legs out behind you. Hi, Uncle Buddy Dog. Press into those hands, palms. Look up. It's like the Little Mermaid. Oh, if only I had legs. Having sprained my ankle, I do feel that way. What I would give if I could live with both of my ankles functioning. All right, awesome. Take your time, walk yourself up. Feel free to ground here on your mats once more, even bringing your hands, palms to the center of your chest, despite this not being a yoga class. It is always a beautiful time to honor and thank yourself. So feel free to bring those hands, palms to the center of your chest and take a moment to bow your head and acknowledge whatever you're proud of from today's workout, whatever it is that brought you to your mat to create this time for you. I'm glad you found it. Thank you so much for coming and taking this time to work out with me. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out. I can't wait to see you all again soon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a beautiful week.